Hey guys, this is me and Machiel, and I'm sure I'm destroying his name, and I've already apologized for that. And he's in the 5, 6, 7Q, no,
Eight Q. Yeah.
8, 9, 10Q. I mean, we're
Yeah.
kind of thinking of it as a 10Q range. He's a little bit better than that, but still in that general range. And we've done this with the 15Q range and the 5Q range. And now we're doing the 10ish Q range. And it's the idea is that other people around that level will take a look at the video and go, hey, that I'm so glad he asked those questions and we looked at those principles. That's like hopefully helping people. Okay, let's have a look. When someone's in the, like the guy where we did the 15Q, it's just trying to get the board, corners first, just basic things in order. Get your group, finish your group. Now at your level, okay, that's pretty much covered. And now you need to start looking at the idea that Go is about the strength and weaknesses of groups. And we're going to see some examples about that. This is a game he played at some point. Okay, all's good and fine. Hopefully you noticed that he left a gap here.
Yeah.
Giuseppe's to play one tighter.
Yeah, or you play maybe C14 or something.
Yeah. So there's a weakness there.
Yeah.
And if we ask, well, should I start attacking now? No. First, get your group in order. And then we're still not going to attack. We're going to wait for the board to show us when, where. At the moment, there's no particular reason to attack, but that'll come up. Okay. Boom. You should start noticing, hey, this guy played a side instead of a corner. So he already played two mistakes. If it's my game, I'm already ahead. It's like maybe it's only 2 points, but it's already established, and he's going to make a third and a fourth, and we're not. So that's how what I would be thinking now is I'm in a good position because he's doing things improperly. Corner, yep. Now, generally speaking, unfinished corners tend to hold more value.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing wrong with your move, but unfinished corners tend to be of more value.
Yeah, and maybe if the Joseki here doesn't end in your Sente, then it's not worth it, maybe.
Yeah. It's perfectly valid move. I'm just putting a couple ideas out. This is a perfectly fine move. I have an emotional attraction to the 3-3. It makes me happy. I'm alive. I have points. There's nothing you can do about it. It just feels nice. So I play the 3-3 all the time. Okay. Go is about the strength and weaknesses of groups. Hey, he played a weak move. I can cut in Sente. He can't stop me from cutting, and it's still my move. So in other words, black gets two moves in a row. One, he gets to play again. How come? Because white's so weak, he has to defend. So you got a free cut. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, and if he extends, then it just becomes a mess.
If this way, still for free, because you're about to kill.
I mean, if he extends on the B8, it just becomes a mess.
Yeah, and let's go the other way. If it goes this way, you get to, because now he's dead or dead, which means he's going to go this way. That's his only choice.
Yeah.
Now he's about to really hurt the blackstone. But you have another free move. Okay, so you end up with a really, you're not going to save these stones, but they bother white tremendously. And that's the thing to start getting in your head. Start looking at the weaknesses, and he now has 2 weak groups.
Yeah.
And now you can decide, do I want to finish the corner or not? What would that look like?
Mm-hmm.
And you may decide to just finish this and get on with the game. You might decide to start attacking, but that would be a whole nother question.
Yeah.
So this cut, if you can get the idea and look at it from that point of view, like, oh, what's weak? And that's what we saw right off. There's a weakness here, and you're looking forward to that. That's the new mindset. So next week when you come back, this is the sort of thing I'm going to want to start seeing. Like, oh, I saw this weakness.
And do you think it's worth it to already play the cut at C7, or is it better to leave it there till later?
Well, let's take a look. Let's finish out the Joseki.
Yeah, that's what we did also, I think. Yeah.
And let's have white fix this way.
Hmm.
Well, this is a better side to fix. He got good information. The point is, you can make it happen right now in Sente. So yes, by all means, do it now, because he can fix it. If he fixes it, gone. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, Joseki is here. That actually fixes the cut. This one doesn't quite. Meaning there's this, and then there's this. I mean, it's, again, he's playing something awkward. And the new point of view I'm encouraging you to do is, hey, that's not exactly strong. Is there something I can do about it? Now, in your practice games, when you have a whole hour on your clock, whatever, nice long thinking time, you can pause and you go, you know, there's something fishy about it. I'm smelling something weak here. What's it look like? Do I do it now? Do I do it later? What strong players do, they're looking, okay, when, how, what's it look like? But that's what they're looking at. So in this first video, and I'm just repeating myself a lot, mostly for my own head to get it all clear, the new perspective. Oh, I'm seeing a weakness. I'm seeing a weakness. Even this, a little awkward.
Yeah.
And noticing them, step one. Step two, is there something I want to do about that now? And then you realize, well, one, I can do in Sente right now. Wow. You can make him super weak in Sente right now. That's, that one you take. The others, we wait and see. Okay. Now we'll go through our little process. You get used to the 3 questions. Am I okay? Is there something about black that needs help? No. So we won't be defending. This might sound some awfully simplistic question, but it is, since Go is all about the strengths and weaknesses of groups, if you have a problem, you should start dealing with it. So, do we have a problem? No, no problems at all.
No.
How about white? Many problems. But I don't think we can really cut anything in Sente right now. Anything, you know, he's helped himself, so it's harder to do anything. Nothing easy right now. Now that takes discernment, but we'll just keep it there for now. That I don't see anything that's an immediate problem. For instance, this. Okay, now what? Because, you know, before we could do it and we could, So, and you might decide, well, I just want to try one. Matter of fact, you can actually go this way, even better. You might decide to do that. And like, well, I can do one more. Okay, now I'll, you know, sure, whatever. You might decide that, or you might decide I'll do nothing now. So black's fine. Question 2, how's white doing? And then you decide you want to try something now. It's not, I don't really see any weak groups, so I'm going to say no. Then the third question, what's the big area? What's big on the board? And the obvious answer, the right. Now, you played a move let's gauge the size on the left. If I were to put my hand in there, I couldn't. I'd have to shrink it up and put my fingers in there. Oh, fairly wide finger. Okay. How about the right side? Put my whole arm in there. Now, this is literally how I judge things. I make them very simple, very practical. Oh, the right is bigger.
Yeah,
Now,
I think I was looking at him, the person, I don't know if it's him, but at the person playing something there on the left side
yeah,
and kind of stabilizing all the
yeah,
little things he left behind.
yeah,
I thought it would like make it too solid over there. But I mean, he already played a lot of moves, so
yeah.
maybe it's still not worth it to play there. Yeah.
Right. Now that's a great question, because you are indeed asking, hey, I think white's weak over here. I'm going to start in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a right idea. So let's get it a little more organized. We already know black's fine. Okay, does white have a weak group over here? Well, are you about to attack the A group? No, the A group is
No.
completely out,
Mhm.
no hope of surrounding, not much attack. You can't attack the A group, so don't try.
Mhm.
Go to the next one. Do you think you can attack his B group? In no way, no how. You can't surround it. You can't. No, the A group is fine. He has weaknesses, but his groups are in order. So we're not attacking.
Yeah, okay. So trying to split up this area is not big enough compared to taking your own profit because he's gonna get too much profit from you trying to split it up and not getting anything yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
okay. Hmm.
So we're okay. Now we have our own weaknesses. I mean, White could go, aha, you have a weakness there. I get Sente. Well, true, but it's not meaningful. It's just an ordinary move that is
Yeah.
White's way when he wants to. Hey, I can come in here. True, but my group is safe. I'll find some way of getting a healthy group, however I
Yeah.
decide to do that. So everything has weaknesses, but our groups are in order. So then we get to size. The right's the large one.
Hmm.
Where on the right? Well, the most obvious is the unfinished corner.
Hmm.
Next is, well, I am kind of build something on top. I could take that corner. Now, I might like this better if this was on the fourth line. Then I might be tempted to play here. That's a very attractive little shape.
Hmm.
But generally speaking, the corner's bigger, so unfinished corner.
Yeah.
And years ago, the Chinese opening was very popular. But again, that's a side move, and AI's taught us, no, just play your corner. Okay, so this beginning session is all about getting stuff sorted out. And you go, okay, first, I'm okay. He's okay. The right's biggest. The simpler you make it, the better you're going to be playing. After many decades of teaching, the most common thing the student says, oh, but this is happening and that's and he names all the positive things. And I'm going, you're absolutely right. This move is filled with positive things, bringing it all the way up to a 60 to 70% move. That's a lot. That's a lot of profit. Nowhere near 100. And the idea is what's holding you back. So yeah, there's a lot of things that make this a good move. But if we put the ideas in place, then you're playing the corner. Okay, that
Hmm.
was rambling. You play here. He fixes. And now you're going to get this stone to safety. And the proverb says, don't run with the knight's move because
Hmm.
it's cut.
Yeah.
When we're weak, we don't like getting cut. Unless you're saying, hey, I want you to cut me, I'll just give that stone up. But
Hmm.
there's no reason. You can just jump out and not get cut. Once I get
Yeah.
it on that button. Yeah, no problem. Okay. out, careful about the cut. And again, strength and weaknesses of groups, that's weak.
Yeah.
That simple mindset could really change your game,
Mm-hmm.
right? We go through our process. House black, I left that weakness on top, on the
Yeah.
left. That really bothers me. Something about this group is bothering me. What is it? It's cut. I'm just going to go fix it. Boom. Cut's gone. And remember that gap.
Mm-hmm.
We are ready to take flight in the area where he's weak.
This shape always fixes, not always, of course, but in a
Yeah,
lot of
it's a
times
nice fix.
fixes like the knight's move. Okay.
Yeah. And this one also tends to fix, but it touches white, begging white to get stronger. I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
beg white
yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
stronger.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would play here, because I do have a weakness.
Yeah.
So fixing it and bothering white right where I want to bother white. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here, lots of positive. This one's saying, between my A and B stones, the A stone's the one I actually want, because I'm building this great thing on top and I'm still getting close to his weakness. I
Yeah.
like the idea. There's a chance it's even better, but it's a little fancy. I want to, think more about, let's just get our group nice and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of saving the cut. This is still a great move.
Yeah,
Yep.
this I knew you could play this one, and I didn't know if now was the right moment or
Uh-huh.
later. And then
Yeah.
I had the feeling I better just try it out and see what happens to really know if it's the right or wrong
Yeah.
moment.
I like that attitude. I don't know
Yeah.
about this move, and it seems possible. Let me try it. I like
Yeah,
that.
let me just, I know people play it with me, and I thought maybe
Yeah.
it's just time to try it out.
Yeah. Let's try it out. No, I like that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But let's go through our process.
Hmm.
How's black? Well, the first thing I would think of is these two black stones. Can they get cut off? And I'm like, no,
Hmm.
there's nothing but black stones on the right. So if there is any cut, it's in black's favor. Let's just look at that briefly. This is an important concept.
Hmm.
So let's say white finds a way of cutting. Well, my
Yeah.
idea is this is all black stones. He can't win the fight. If we start adding some white stones in here, later on in the game, it might look like this. Oh, black's in trouble. Same
Hmm.
cut, but different context. In this context, no, black's fine.
Yeah, and
Go
if
on
white
top.
would keep extending there, then you can keep on running.
Yeah, but in this context, black's not afraid
No,
because there's
no,
no
no.
white stones. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So we're fine. Well,
yeah.
just a second. What about that A stone? Well, I already made the statement. I don't care about the A stone.
Hmm.
I played a knight's move on purpose, saying, "Please cut me." So please cut me. And I still don't think A is valuable. This is the mindset on this board that I would have.
Yeah.
And you might say, "No, my A stone, I really want it." Then fix. That's it. Fix. Or it's not important to me right now. Let it go. That would be a discernment you would have to make. So let's start my discernment. Black's fine. Next, how's white? Fine. Great. Now, let's spend just a moment on this third question. Instead of asking what's big, what's the big area, let's ask how many big areas are there? This is a very valuable question. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to define why there's only 3, but I'm
Hmm.
seeing 3 big areas. Now, before we define why there's only 3, let's go through. If we play in area 3, that's a side move. It's not exactly a corner move.
No.
Corners are bigger. Let's play a corner move. Oh, big. Okay, we like that. How about this side? That's also big. As a matter of fact, now we're
bigger. Yeah.
attacking white using this thing we went out of our way to build. Consistency. Playing a big move, one of the big moves on the board, according to the other moves we've played as I attack white. That's a three-purpose move. That's big. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
While this, one-purpose move, I'm taking the corner. The other one, playing in the corner, attacking white, growing my moil. That's powerful. Getting more and more purposes. Wow. Now let's talk about why there's only three big areas. Who does area 4 belong to? Obviously black. Does that mean it's his cash? No.
No.
So there's areas of control that are difficult for your opponent to come in. Difficult in the sense of there's not room for a whole group unless things get special. How about area 5? No, there's no room. I'll make that example. I'm going to move K17 over to J17. And then we notice that there's room for an entire group. So that's not black's area yet. How come? There's room for a whole group. What about now? Oh, no more room. So only a tiny little. No, that's no. Now you're being hopeful. That's not room. Is the idea make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So area 5, that's blacks. 4, black. Not cash, but area of control. How about area 1? Nobody. That makes it an opening move. Area 2, nobody's. It's an opening move. Area 3, no one owns that. It's an opening move. What about the upper left corner? That's white's. Not white's cash, but white's. So there's 3 opening moves left. And when you're in the opening, play opening moves. So area 2, very big. Area 1, sure looks bigger, 3 purposes. Does that whole process make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next time we get together, the 2 things so far I would like to see, and I'm sure we'll be correcting you, so don't worry when I correct you. This is all about some people out there who were around the 10Q level, and they're like, oh, I see. And then all of a sudden you make a mistake just like they did, and it helps them. Or you ask that certain question that they wish someone would ask. Okay, so perhaps I'm expressing fear in correcting you. So forgive me when I do.
No trouble. No.
So you paying more attention to, it's about weak groups, strong and weak groups, and then opening versus middle game. It's a simple concept, but it's one to plug in. So that's pretty much what we've seen so far. Okay. It's obviously a great move. Taking his whole corner away. What's wrong with that? Okay. One out, one out, one out. Yeah. Here's another principle. We're on move 35-ish. This is going to be extremely simple. It's like so simple it's kind of stupid, but it shows a principle. Okay. White has 2 ways to go, A or B. How does one decide? Well, the correct way to decide all go decisions, read it out. Now, the vast majority of go decisions, there's no way a human can do that. So we look for little tricks. The trick here is go the easy way. This is a big principle in Go. The harder it is for you, the more profit he's getting. That's just through the vast majority of time. So here, B, you're walking out. He can't stop you. A, he stops you immediately. So B's easier.
Mhm.
Does that principle make sense? I know it's a really easy move, but does the
Yeah, it
principle
makes
make
sense.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And now we have two ways to go again. One gets stopped immediately. This one doesn't. This still easy way to go. Okay. Now let's apply this to the game. We were right here. Okay. You have two ways to go. You chose a dead end. Very comfortable, but it's absolute dead end. This one is not a dead end. Keeps going. There's more flow,
Because he has to stop you. You mean?
or we like it if he doesn't.
Hmm.
Also, notice his move. You stop it immediately. A hard move for him.
Hmm.
Now, as far as I know, I'm the only Go player on earth who appreciates this principle and applies it. So I don't know if it'll become a useful principle for you, but it's a perspective that you might find helpful. Okay.
Hmm.
So, of course, this is a good move. I think the other one's better. You got both. Whew, great. Now you're in a life and death situation. And if I was going to read your mind, it's like, I don't know if I'm alive or not. I'm going to live. That's exactly what I would do. If I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm going to live. There's actually a professional perspective where when they don't know, and that comes up, I mean, I was really surprised when I started in with pros. They would look at a situation they've never seen, and they were like, "Oh, that's going to be co." No readout. They go, "Well, it's the type of corner that's probably going," and it always does. I mean, they just know. It's the weirdest thing. But then they get in situations where I have no idea. So how do they judge? And then it comes out. If it's hard for them to kill, let them try. I love that perspective. Anyway, that was me rambling. So you live. Great. Is it alive? I would guess so.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I was not
Yeah,
100% sure.
yeah, but you don't know. So live. And it's
Yeah.
like, you're so happy. You went in, ripped off his whole corner. You don't care if it's Gote. You did something so big. Yeah. And that's so much of that is because he left that nasty gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He plays here. So I want to
Yeah.
look at
So
this
now
a
it
little bit.
makes sense to play first the other point, at point one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's ask, is black okay? Oh, yeah. White. Yeah. Well, there is a spot here,
Hmm.
which is a white weakness, which happens to help. I do have a weakness there. I'm not overly concerned about it, but I'm looking, I think I can get this for free. I would just do it. It's something where I have a slight concern and he has a concern and I get it for free. Oh, yeah. If I'm sure it's for free, because I don't need this. So I have to add that. Well, what if he just gives me the stones? Might not be so big. I don't know. So I would be cautious, but I just wanted us to think about that. Okay. So we're here and we're thinking we're fine. He's fine. So we look at the big areas. 1, 2, 3. Well, I mean, I want the corner so bad, but I look at this white move. It's a little two space extension. That's a tiny move. Well, what about mine? Well, kind of a very small move. Yeah, there's a lot of benefit here. I would start at minimum 80% value, but then, oh, that's a big one. So I'm coming over here right now. That's a big move in a big area.
Mhm.
And I'll just give him that and I'll just live. And potentially ignore and say, well, how do I feel about the bottom right? I think I can live. Or, I'm not so sure. I'm going to go ahead and defend. But you can see this top area, how big it's getting.
Mhm.
All based on this principle. I'm okay, he's okay. Count the big areas, which one, and then compare.
Yeah, and also even the corner is not even yours yet in the top right. So, I mean,
Yeah,
still not, but that's
right.
why it's also
But
worth
we
to play there.
really like that he takes it away because it makes the top area so valuable
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Sente. Yeah.
yeah.
So we're going to talk about something for a minute. When we say we talked about the three questions. Do you know the three questions? You've seen them before, the list?
Is it the one like, am I weak? Is the other weak? And then
Yes.
what's the big move? Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go a little more in depth on we're going to define these questions a little bit more. So when we first came to it this morning, we just said, what's big?
Mhm.
Then we revisited it and expanded the question. How many big opening moves are there? Or how many big areas? We were in the opening, so I added opening. Okay, and it's important to ask how many, because you got to compare all the ones that might be worthy of comparing. And if you go, well, that one's obviously too small. No, count it and then compare because it's often biggest. Okay, so let's do the same thing with question one. Am I okay? So let's go on some theoretical board that we can't see. And we ask, am I okay? No, my A group is weak. Oh, then I'll defend my A group. No, how come? Because I also have a B group that's more important and it's even weaker. So we need to know how many weak groups I have. You with me?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, also, sometimes a single stone can be game winning because it's a cutting stone or it represents something way bigger than a weak group. So there's my weak groups, how many there are, but also stones. A stone isn't a group. It might be completely unimportant. It might be tremendously important. So as we expand the question, I'll type it out. So when it comes to stones, they have to be important. So how many groups or important stones do I have? Now, since we're going to be asking these questions 100, 150 times a game, it's just darned annoying. How many weak groups or important stones do I have? It's much easier to just say, am I okay? And it's such an easy question that you can just kind of think it. But you don't have the right to do that unless you understand the long question. This is not just, am I okay? But look at everything. Is everything okay? All my groups, all my important stones. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So am I okay? Is he okay? What's big? And the questions are expanded, but we ask them short version, generally speaking. Okay. I don't recall why I spent time to do that. It's here. Yeah. So question one, is our A group okay? Yeah, it's okay because one black, one white, it's equal. Therefore, we're fine because he's fine. It's not a weakness. Sound reasonable?
Mhm.
Okay. So when he plays here, our A stone's fine. Okay. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So that doesn't mean we're itching a little bit. Hey, he came close. He came close. Yeah, but we're fine. Okay. We're
But it
fine.
would be different. It would be different if he would have played R14, right?
Well, there we go with this. There's the R14. Does that
Yeah.
make it different? No. One black, one white.
Mhm.
There can't be a problem. Because if we're weak, then that means he's weak because it's equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you not say that in the actual game it would take too much profit if he would afterwards
That's
invade or play on the
second.
side?
That's a second question. That's question 3. What's big?
Okay, yeah.
I'm wanting to first establish, and this is part of the process I'm wanting you to move to, is there's a difference between my health and my size. Completely different. And Q players constantly see them as the same thing. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to get you to split those apart. Totally different. My health and the size. So back to our position.
Yeah, so the health is okay and the
Health is okay. Okay.
yeah, size could maybe be somewhere else. Yeah.
So we're okay. How about his B group? Perfectly fine. Okay,
Mhm.
we're on to question 3. Let's count the big areas. We can play in area 1. Actually, that one spot, you're extending from your 2-stone wall. That's a good characteristic. Hitting him at the open skirt, threatening to come under. That's big. And this C cut, we knew from early on, is a weakness. All of a sudden, D is becoming, oh, wow, characteristic of we like it because of our wall, hurts him near his weakness. I'd call that a 3-purpose move. Wow.
Mhm.
Surprisingly large. But we don't stop there. We've got to keep going. Okay. Who owns area 1? Nobody. How big is it? Minuscule. I can't, maybe my fingers are big. I couldn't even get 2 fingers in there. Tiny. I have to put 1 finger in there. Pretty hard to get smaller than 1 finger. Okay, what about area 3? Well, that's not area 2. That's not an opening area. True. So I might choose D. But if my second choice would be here, big area in a large moil. I like it. Over here, small. Actually,
Mhm.
go. Well, I can just do whatever. Oh, I'm going to get you. Really? Go ahead, try. There's no getting here.
Mhm.
So if I was going to predict, I would say this is going to be the hardest thing for you in these series is separating the weakness of a group versus the size of a group. It's a hard thing. But size-wise, you can see this, wow, that's big. And this is, just a little corner thing, which he can still live inside there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And this idea of I'm leaving the A area and I'm coming down here. What? You're leaving that area? It might seem strange. And I don't know which I would do because this is an awfully pleasant move. But ouch. That bothers me. So I think in a
Yeah.
real game I would just play here.
Mhm.
Yeah, whatever you can do in your head to go, oh, this is not my thought. It's foreign.
And what would you do if white would now play on O3?
Yes, these questions. That's exactly what your opponent's going to do and say, no, 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 you can't do that. I'm going to get you. It happens every game from, especially in the Q level. And there you are. What the heck am I going to do? I
Yeah, yeah.
agree. Okay. So what do you do? Well, for me personally, step 1 is when I look at this whole situation. Those should have been triangles, but there we are. I'm seeing a 3-1 in black's favor. Actually, I'm going to make those triangles. Okay, I'm seeing 3-1 in black's favor, and it's black's turn. How can that be bad for black?
Yeah.
3-1, black's turn. It can't be bad. So I start with the intellectual objective.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So if it would be 3-2, let's say in white's favor, would you then rather not have played M3, but like for example played N3? So the first move that kind of set this situation in motion.
I think you just said that this is another option and safer.
I mean, yeah, if this would be like not in your favor, so white would be having this one stone more, would it then be safer to, let's say, oh, okay, so in that case, I would not play M3, but N3, so
Yeah,
that I have a safe extension and there's no way for.
yeah, and that's a matter of discernment. And it would not surprise me terribly if I saw a 9-down play here. It's like, okay, safer, more secure, and we still have lots of possibilities for coming under. Okay.
Yeah.
I just love open skirts, and I know he already kind of owes a move down there, so I'd be happy. Now let's answer the other question. What would I do? I kind of don't like this because I think he can just walk out. And I don't like getting split here. All of a sudden, I'm totally inside a white sea. I hate it. So I'm just going to have my stones touch, and I'm not going to even worry about what happens. You know, just I'm just here. Okay, that's your right. Yeah, that's your right. Okay, so whatever happens, fine. And if you look ahead and you go, you know, I don't like this at all, then pull it back. That would be your discernment, and that's what you're supposed to do, is go, you know, I'm a little uncomfortable, so I'm going to tuck it in. Great. It's still the biggest area. It's still a good future. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to like this one more. Now, since we're here, there's another option. Since I'm feeling a little weak, great, go this way.
Yeah.
Just settle here. Your corner's fine. Now this one's going to be fine. 2 separate groups. Great. Great. You'll be fine. Let's just play this one out for fun. White, black, white captures. Tari. It's a net. We know the net doesn't work. Let's have white break it. Atari, capture. We're out. We can't get cut. And white's 0-3 stone is in a world of hurt. And we have 2 very healthy groups. Now that's a little advanced because you're saying, I don't want my stones to touch. That's not an easy way to think. But this is what I would do personally. I'd be real happy. Look at that 0-3 stone going, help me.
Yeah.
And even if it runs out, it's still, I'll just chase you. Oh, I'm going to get out. Great. I'm going to attack the right side. Yeah. Okay. That was me rambling. So over to here. Oh, no. There. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember the game you played here. Okay. So there's a principle here. And we'll use the quote by Mr. Yang. Do you know Mr. Yang?
No.
Professional 7-dan. The best ever in the history of Go when it comes to fundamentals. Best teacher in the world for decades upon decades. And a great guy. And we're the same age. And his quotes, I just live on. I eat them. They're just part of me. I love his quotes. So here, his quote is, I do a big thing, I finish it, then I go do another big thing. So here, Black's doing what he thinks is a big thing. Finish it. Get the position stable. Then once you're done, go do another thing. So let's say White plays here. Oh, not done yet. Done. That's awkward, weak. I mean, there's, that sente, that sente. Oh my goodness, what a weak position. This is a weak position. So I'm going to finish it. How? That makes me feel better, but not great. That makes me feel great. You decide, how do I want to finish this? But there's the principle is, yeah, go do something, but finish it. Make it a good thing.
Yeah.
So here it looks like, well, what's the A stone doing? It's just a stone next to a wall. Yeah. Okay, good. We can stop there. We saw a lot of good things. A perspective of it's all about weak groups. Then we have be patient. You're in the opening. Go ahead and play an opening move. You don't have to invade right now. You don't have to attack right now if you don't think it's the right thing to do.
Yep.
And then finishing your groups.
And then it was like open, what was it?
Say that again.
If it was healthy or if it was wide. What was it? There was like this moment, and then you said, like when I played R14, the question was like, is the space there healthy or is it?
The difference between my health and my size.
Oh yeah, health and my size.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of times they cube players will defend an area that's not weak because they think it's big. So if you take away, I'm actually healthy, then all of a sudden you're free to see another big area. Yeah.
Yeah, then it's not so big. Yeah.
Okay. So you have your work cut out for you.
Yeah.
Me personally, when I take a Go lesson and the teacher says such and such, I'm like, I'll try. Then I come back next week and I have to hear the whole thing again. Now, for me, I might have to do that. It's embarrassing, but like, I don't know, 10 times. Finally, I see enough perspective about the concept where I'm going, oh, I see. And then I have it rock solid for the rest of my life. It takes me a long time to understand something. Other people, one time, they got it. Great. I can't do that. So you got a lot in front of you. Don't be afraid if you miss stuff, because you will. Get used to that. If this works and all of a sudden you're 7 done, you'll still be missing tons of stuff. It's not, that will never change. So next week, we'll see the stuff. We'll go over pretty much the exact same things and just get better definitions. Any last minute questions or comments you want
to? No, I think it's clear. Yeah. What to work on. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, viewers, when you see him learning these things and you hear his questions, we're hoping that it helps you see them and perhaps answers your questions. And if you have those questions we're not touching on, leave comments and stuff like that. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. Catch you later.